Can you believe that this week will be my 1 year on YouTube? I really want to thank you guys for over 4,000 subscribers. It's really amazing to me that within a year I've gotten so much support and so much love from you guys, so thank you so very, very much. And thank you so much to my patrons for supporting me as well. And shout out to Kristen. You've been around for almost my whole time on YouTube now, which is really cool. Thank you so much. Today's video is going to be about Good Die Young in the color People Eater. So a couple weeks ago, I put a poll on my community page asking about how I should continue to dilute my hair strands. My options were to not dilute, keep doing it how I've been doing it, where I have the center diluted and then the ends diluted even more, or if I should just do half of it with the dye and half of it diluted. So originally I mostly had votes for doing it how I've been doing it, so my last two videos I just continued. But then I checked on it recently and now it's tied between doing it how I've been doing it and just doing one diluted piece instead of two. So today I'm gonna try and do only one diluted piece and see how you guys like it. I have my swatches labeled 1 through 12. 1 is a deep blue, 2 is red, 3 is a natural red, 4 is black, and then from 4 to 11 we have a range that goes up to platinum blonde. And then number 12 is like a toned version of the platinum blonde. Normally I've noticed that with purple dyes I tend to do a pink swatch and a green swatch. For some reason I get a lot of requests when I'm doing purple or pink dyes to do green swatches or vice versa, pink swatches with green dye, but I haven't gotten as many lately. So I'm gonna try a dark blue instead, and usually with the pink swatch, purple tends to just kind of dye over it without an issue as long as it's pigmented enough. So instead of pink, I want to try red, since red's a little bit deeper. I'm not crazy, right? This is purple, right? That's purple. Okay, there's the dye. It literally looks blue. It looks like this. I mean, I'm gonna wait till I apply it to be for sure, but I'm gonna say, you know, it definitely does look blue. Unless I don't know. It doesn't say on the bottle what color it is. I don't know if this brand makes a dark blue. And again, we'll see once I apply it and everything, but I'm a little concerned. It does not seem purple to me. Also, I just want to say, however this dye turns out on my swatches is not how it might turn out on your hair. Unfortunately, everyone's hair is different, so everyone's hair will take dye differently. I recommend you use this video more as a reference point as to what it could possibly look like on your hair. It's always best to do as much research as possible when dyeing your hair yourself. So on the plus side, this looks like a very pigmented, nice dye. On the negative side, it's not purple. So off the top of my head, I cannot remember if Good Die Young has a blue like this. So if they do make a blue like this, something is telling me that it got packaged in the wrong box. After I'm done diluting it, I'm going to look online and see. I'm going to dilute this still. And I'm going to do a tablespoon of diluter with 1/4 teaspoon of the dye. For anyone wondering, no, you do not need diluter, but some people do like to dilute their dyes to make it a lighter version of the dye. Purple dyes especially, people tend to dilute because they will use them as toners for their blonde hair. Also, when I dilute my dyes, I always use a white conditioner. I will let this sit for like 3 hours. I will rinse them out and let them dry. I'm gonna do some research as well, and when you see me next, hopefully I have something else to say about this. So this is a really weird situation. I looked at the website and they do not have a blue in this tone. My first thought was like, okay, I didn't get the wrong color. They didn't accidentally put the wrong color in the box. Like, this is what it's meant to be, I guess. So I click on the People Eater dye, and I noticed that out of all the colors on the website, People Eater is the only one that has not as many good reviews. I want to say that pretty much all of them that I saw had at least 4 stars or more out of 5, whereas People Eater had roughly 3 stars. The description says that it is a purple dye with a bit of a blue base, so it's supposed to fade blue, and they just pretty much call it a cool toned purple. So I go down and I start reading the reviews, and of course, I'm not the only one with this problem. Of the bad reviews were saying they were not happy because on them it was blue. That is my warning to you. I'm just confused on why they don't market this as like a more of like an indigo or something. And I will say, after it sat and I rinsed it out and I let it dry, it does look more purple now than it did when it was originally dyeing, I guess. But I would still say, to me, this looks more like a blue with a little bit of purple versus a purple with a little bit of blue. I do see some purple in it, but not enough really for me to say it's purple. And I wouldn't be saying so much about that if the reviews didn't also reflect my situation as well, which means a lot of people are having this issue. Okay, so this is me after I filmed everything. I was originally going to come here and say that my husband, who is someone who sees color differently from me, he saw purple. He literally saw it as the description, where it's purple with a little bit of blue. And I was like, that's weird because I really only see blue. And then I went upstairs and I did the close-ups in natural lighting, and I will say they definitely look much more purple in natural lighting. I would say the lightest ones, 11 and 12, still pull more blue looking to me, but everything else definitely looks more purple. So take that into consideration. Also, the picture at the end that I show of all the swatches next to each other is in natural lighting too. It pretty much dyed every single swatch except number 4 as usual. Black usually doesn't take dye. I've not quite done any colors like this, so I'll just be comparing it to some of the most similar ones that I have. All of the blues that I've done aren't quite as purpley as this, so I think I'm only going to be doing purple comparisons actually, based off of the dyes that I currently have. So the first one I want to look at is Arctic Fox with Purple Rain. I like to think of this as a purple that's not too cool toned, but also it's not too warm toned. It's kind of like right in between. This is comparable to number 12. Number 11, number 10, and number 9. So for this one, I mainly wanted to compare the top pieces because they're both nice and deep saturated colors, but especially when they are diluted, you can really see the difference in undertone. This is comparable to number 6, and number 5. Once again, Purple Rain is a very pigmented dye as well. It dyes number 5 and 6, but same thing where it kind of looks more black. But when you put them next to each other, you can see the slight undertone differences. If you like how dark 5 and 6 becomes with both dyes, Purple Rain does look a little bit more warm toned, and you can see a slight bit of purple. People Eater looks very cool toned. And then as of right now, the most cool toned purple that I have is Ultraviolet from Manic Panic. This is comparable to number 12, 11, 10, 9, and 8. So based off of the box for Good Day Young, this is actually what I was expecting the dye to look like when it came out. And I really hope my camera is picking up on the differences, because sometimes my camera sucks like that. So you can tell they both are very cool toned, but once again, People Eater just looks blue. It really looks blue with like a hair of purple in it, whereas Ultraviolet looks purple with a hair of blue. And same thing, like you can really see that difference when you dilute it too. It's just a bit more purple in the Ultraviolet. Now that we've seen my comparisons, let's get into the close-ups. Please let me know if you prefer my new method of doing these swatches, where I'm only doing 1/2 with the dye and then 1/2 with the diluter too. Thank you so very much for watching, and thank you to my patrons, and I hope to see you in my next video.